Hello, 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 everybody. Yes, we're pretty excited. We got a great guest on here. Dawn McIntyre. She's been around. I don't remember being on Passive and she wasn't there. So
Yeah.
she's got to be here a long time. I don't know if that. She'll let us know. But anyway, yeah, she's on today, which is fantastic. Now, we did come up with a different format, and I'm going to go through this really quick. We're going to be sending a video out in the next couple hours. We did it already, but it wasn't good enough. We explained in the video exactly what we need. We want to shine the light on as many people as we can. We found that people coming to us hasn't been working so well because some of our family in Africa or Papua New Guinea or wherever, it just, the connection's not good enough. But we changed it. We want you to make the video and then you send it to us. All the instructions will be in the description under the video, exactly what you need to do, how to send it. We even put Dropbox in there in case it's a bigger file, but it's all going to be in this video, and it probably will go out after Red's live, which would be noon, okay? Noon Eastern Daylight Time. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more time because this isn't about that. This is about the one and only Dawn McIntyre. What a great name. My wife's name's Dawn. All Dawns are great. You notice I looked over when I said,
yeah, I've seen that. Waiting for the frying pan to come.
Yeah, all Dawns are great. Anyway, Chris, introduce this wonderful lady.
Well, I've known Dawn for quite a while. I think probably almost 4 years. Not only is she absolutely drop dead gorgeous, beautiful, she's got a phenomenal personality. She's gone through some things in her life. She's come out on top. She's an excellent speaker, and she's got a great personality, and I think she's going to blow you away. Personally, I know some things about what Dawn does in her life, but she's going to let us all know from chapter 1 to the end chapter. Just kidding, Dawn. She's going to be phenomenal. She was going to wear a cowboy hat. I said, no, I wish she would, but she looks so gorgeous. But Dawn McIntyre, I love you, my sister. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Marty and Chris. It's a pleasure to be here. And thank you to all the Onpassivians that are watching this. My name is Dawn McIntyre, and I was born in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and moved to the Lower Mainland when I was about 3 years old. Grew up with my dad and my sister and my stepmother, and I had a stepbrother and a stepsister. It typically was a Cinderella story for me. So that was my upbringing. After I graduated at the age of 18, and I excelled in school, but after I graduated at the age of 18, I moved to Calgary to be with my mother. I had never grown up with my mother or knew her. It gave me a chance to be with her, get to know her, and I ended up going into retail. So I was a manager with Estee Lauder and opened up the counter of the new Holt Renfrew location. And then I went from that to owning my own ladies' clothing store. It was a high-end clothing store, very big, 2,500 square feet, and I had 10 staff. And I loved it. Loved the trips to New York, loved the buying, loved the management of the staff, loved everything about it. Wished Onpassive existed then. It would have made owning that store a whole lot easier. And then I went in and my new baby became my daughter. So I had my daughter and I focused my attention. I became a stay-at-home mom, but I studied, I read, I studied. I was constantly trying to improve myself. So and people told me I should have shares in Amazon because literally there would be deliveries twice a week and I would just go through books. And I ended up becoming certified as a professional spiritual intuitive. I started my own radio show. It excelled, and I ended up doing a travel across Canada and was a guest on breakfast television across Canada. Ended up being a regular guest on breakfast television in Edmonton, where I was born. And that went on for about 2 years. Co-authored 3 books: Big Ideas for Your Business, Shift Happens, and Bouncing Back. Bouncing Back I co-authored with Wayne Dyer. And my chapter in that book really was about the Cinderella story that I lived. And my chapter was right next to his. And ironically, his chapter was Be Still and Know I'm God. And that was one thing that my mantra, when I was having a rough time sleeping, I would say that to myself over and over and over until it put me to sleep. And it really, really helped. So I believed the synchronicity in that was just absolutely amazing. And then I got this vision about, and it wasn't really about a book. It was about commercials where I saw all these men, husbands, brothers, uncles, introducing all the women in their lives as being a 10, because I really didn't like the stigma of how the rating of women from 1 to 10. So, but it was about all these men just loving these women and calling them a 10, whether they're a grandmother, an aunt, an uncle, a spouse, a sister, and the reasons why. And what ended up happening is I ended up creating an outline for what that would look like. And I produced 20 videos, which went online. And then I had the videos transcribed. I was in Hollywood doing some taping for USA Today and NBC. And when I went back to my room, my daughter was with me, and she was on her computer complaining about and almost crying that she wasn't beautiful enough. And this was with her friend. And I thought, that's it, I'm writing my book. And I wrote, it's called The New 10. And it's 40 days to living a beautiful life from the inside out. And it was very successful. It was an Amazon bestseller. And I loved it. And that was published in 2010. That was my pet project. In 2011, my daughter decided she wanted to move to Kelowna. So I said, okay, that's fine. She wanted to live with her dad and go to high school here. So I moved with her, and I said, I'll move with you and I'll just be there for you. And so I moved here, tried going back into retail, kind of lost momentum with the book. My agent kind of let me down. Everything just shifted when I moved here. So I was introduced to home businesses, and there was one in particular in 2016, and I loved it because it was to help businesses and entrepreneurs, and it involved Indiegogo and Kickstarter and all of those platforms. And I just loved how it was set up, and it was helping entrepreneurs. I was an entrepreneur myself, so I could certainly relate. And when I was introduced in 2019, it was July 2019, Matt Halleck from Saskatchewan introduced me to Onpassive. I joined Onpassive then, and I thought, this is the perfect platform, the perfect vehicle to help me with this other business. So this was summer of 2019. By October, November, I realized, as I got to know Ash and the vision and Onpassive, I thought, no, Onpassive is what I need to focus my attention on. And that became my sole focus. When COVID happened, lockdown, March 17, 2020, I was pre-diagnosed with a rare type of lymphoma, couldn't do the surgery, wasn't covered by MSP, so kind of dealing with that. And I was in a relationship that was really, really toxic, I think is the kind word I'll put towards it. It was a long-term relation, very toxic. And for somebody who was used to being out there, being seen, being heard, I wasn't allowed to be seen, to be heard. I was constantly told to shut up. And, it just, with Onpassive and everything Onpassive has gone through, the journey, it has inspired me because that relationship ended. But the way it ended, I had to start all over again. I put my complete faith and trust in this relationship, in this individual. and I was let down so severely. So I do understand what Ash is going through on a business level. I'm going through it kind of personally, but I'm getting through the other end. It's been like 4 years of therapy now. I've been on my own for 4 years, and the journey of Onpassive has kind of inspired me because it's in alignment with my values of love being first, humanity being very, very important. And for me personally, with all my healing, it starts with the children. And I've realized that from my own experiences growing up. I am so thrilled for Enjoy to come out. But having said that, having owned my own brick and mortar business, having been with online businesses, my history with the books and the radio shows and all of that, and the amount of money that it cost me for agents and branding, I know that Onpassive can help all of these sectors, and I'm tied into all of them, and a lot of great influencers in all of these sectors. And the one thing that I loved really, and when I was in Calgary, is I did public speaking. I did it for women, I did it for men, I did it for children. I loved doing it for the children, and that's really what I'm all about, helping the children, and through Enjoy. And I'm also looking forward to the All Woman platform because it's about female leadership, to my understanding, and entrepreneurship. And I really know that process. I know how frustrating it can be. And I really know that, the persistence, the resilience that is required, and the courage and the strength to do that as a woman is not always easy, but it's worth it, and especially in this day and age. And I am so grateful for Mr. Ash Mufareh and for Onpassive, because where I started with Onpassive and where I'm going with Onpassive is so in alignment with who I'm becoming, all the healing I've done, my strength, my courage. It's right up there with what Ash is doing with Onpassive, taking back the reins, taking back his power. It's very, very similar to what I'm going through. And honestly, Ash, I have to say this from my heart. When it comes to the Guinness Book of World Records, I would probably be right up there with you when it comes to being CEO of my love life. That is something I still need to really work on. And that's a side note. I mean, I'm just, my passion right now is for children, and I am so grateful for Onpassive. I am excited about where we're going to go. And one of the things I've learned is there's such a beauty in the unknown, and just having a sense of wonder, a sense of innocence about where everything is going just opens you up. It just opens you up to a flow of allowing and receptivity, which then allows inspired action. And that's where I'm going to go with Onpassive, is just allow myself to be inspired every single step of the way. And honestly, my inspiration is Mr. Ash Mufareh. So I am so grateful for Onpassive and for Mr. Ash Mufareh. So thank you, Chris and Marty. Thank you, everyone, for listening and for watching. I appreciate all of you. Much love.
Wow! Don McIntyre, ladies and gentlemen. Don, I didn't know a lot of that stuff. Radio, books, television.
Yeah, how old are you? 110?
I'm 59.
Oh my God.
You're what? How old?
59.
Oh my Lord, I didn't know. Nah, not even close. She's lying, folks. Don't believe her.
She's not,
20, she's
told the
23.
truth right up till then, yeah.
Well, Don, you said some amazing things, and I wrote some of them down. I really love what you said at the end. I love the unknown, and that's to a lot of people. And you also said, will help with all my situations or my... Listen, you hit it right on the head, Don. You did this absolutely perfect. You said things that I needed to hear. You woke me up a little bit. And the whole thing that I see from you is you have a drive that's unstoppable. I personally know some of the things that you went through because we talked a lot about it, and you are definitely on the top. to bring Onpassive into your life, to know that Onpassive is going to put you even bigger than what you already are, helping children. Your daughter, I seen pictures. You do tell her she's absolutely beautiful. I see her. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Connected to millions and billions of people all over the world, Dawn, in less than 15 minutes. You did this perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was awesome. But Dawn, you know, obviously you could tell people that went through some struggles, because on the other side, it makes us stronger. I mean, it really does.
It does.
I look at all the stuff that happened in my life and you go, man, I wish this didn't happen. I wish, but really, I am who I am because of the walk I walked. Same with you.
Yes.
And it helps you relate to other people, right? If your life was just so peachy all the time, what experience would you have?
Right.
But it's what you do with these things. And obviously, you've done the right thing. You'll be very inspirational to millions of people. It was very, very, you covered a lot, very clear and very quick. You did an outstanding job. Outstanding job.
Oh,
So
thank you.
thank you very much.
Michael Williams, move over. We got another Canadian powerhouse in here.
Goodbye, Michael. Goodbye, Michael.
Really good, Don. Very proud. I'm saying it. I am very proud of you for who you are. You're absolutely shining the light brighter than I've seen before. I'm actually crazy about what you just did. I just loved how you said it. You are a very good speaker and perfect in your speaking and what you really want to do in life. And that life is happening for you now, and it's going to get bigger and bigger as we go along. And man, I love you, sister. Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. It was very good. Wow, very good. I'm so glad you came. Over 300 people here already, so a lot of people watching. But thank you. Say goodbye, everybody. Dawn, stay in touch, please. You're needed in Onpassive for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Don. Mwah.